I'm Sid, and this is my husband Mackie, and today we're attempting once again to ride a 93-mile section of the Continental Divide Trail in northern New Mexico. Ranging from Cumbres, Colorado to Abiquiu, New Mexico, this is a beautiful, almost 100-mile stretch of single track, traversing mountain ridges and winding through aspen groves. Most people do this ride as a bike-packing adventure, taking 4 or maybe 2 days to cover the distance that we're going to try to do in 1. Good morning. And if this seems like kind of a stupid undertaking, well, you're right, it totally is. But I guess you could say we have a little something to prove. Last year, this ride almost killed us.
And then the instructor of my wilderness first aid course came floating into my mind, and I was like, this is almost exactly a scenario we studied in class. Maybe, yeah, not good.
These are, significant high alpine conditions. The last thing we want to do is have someone get hurt, or as Sid just said from behind me, die of exposure.
In the intervening year since those clips, we've done a lot of hard things, including some very big days on the bike. So we're coming into this ride fitter and way more prepared. And I think it's safe to say we learned our lesson, and this year we are going to do it very, very differently. But big mountain adventures often have a way of humbling you, and this day turns out to be no exception. The road just completely disappeared. I'm not sure if we're supposed to go through this cow pen. If this is like this the rest of the way, this is going to take all night. We tried this ride for the first time a year ago, and it really almost killed us. And I know you're thinking, clickbait, I'm sure it wasn't that bad. Obviously, we were all fine, nothing terrible happened, but it was one of a handful of experiences I have had in my life in the mountains that truly was one sprained ankle, one crash, one bad decision away from a life or death situation. If you didn't watch that video, maybe go watch it now. It is pretty entertaining in retrospect. However, it was a day that I don't think was even type 2 or 3 fun. It might be the most miserable I have ever been on my bike. We were just very, very, very cold for almost 8 hours. We were underdressed, we were unprepared, we were way too cavalier about the whole experience, and we made some really bad calls, and we learned a lot. We learned our lesson, and we're doing things differently this time around. Probably our biggest mistake when we did this ride in 2023 was the fact that we looked at the weather for Chama, New Mexico, which is the closest town that shows up on, your weather app on your phone. What we didn't really take into account was how high up we were going to be all day. This is the Continental Divide Trail after all. We were above 10,000 feet for basically the first 40 miles, and that made it a lot colder. So we were underdressed. There was a blizzard at 5 a.m.
Wow, we're actually getting a layer of snow, guys.
It was a bad time. This year, Coach Mike introduced us to an app called Epic Ride Weather. You can load your Strava route into this app, plug in the time and day that you are starting, and it gives you real-time weather updates for that route, including the elevations that you were actually at. We're already looking much, much better than last year. We have picked a much better day. We're looking at an average temperature of 66 degrees. It will still be pretty cold when we start at 7 a.m., as in about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. However, that is a lot more manageable than I think the 22 degrees Fahrenheit we were working with last year. Very little cloud cover, 0% chance of precipitation, and average 8-mile-per-hour winds.
One big change we've made from last year is that we've really buttoned up the logistics. Instead of making my poor mother camp with us in 22-degree weather, we've enlisted our friend Lauren, who runs Shuttle Taos to drive us to the start. So we'll sleep in our own beds, meet Lauren at the finish point, Martinez Canyon Trailhead, and get shuttled to the start at Cumbres Pass. Then Lauren will drive to Hopewell Lake with our extra food and water and ride out to meet us. We'll have a lunch break at Hopewell, then continue on to Martinez Canyon, where we'll finish back at our vehicle before driving home. Lauren actually runs bike packing trips on this section of the CDT, which we'll share more about later in the video.
There's a much easier way to do this.
So he knows exactly what we're getting ourselves into.
The other thing we did was actually reach out to the Forest Service to get up-to-date trail information. Last year we were working on pretty out-of-date information. There had been a huge wind shear and we ended up carrying our bikes over probably 200 trees, which was a large reason that we didn't complete the ride, because that obviously made things take much longer. Hopefully the intel is correct, but it sounds like there was a crew out there this summer, so huge shout out to them. It should be able to get through that Colorado section a lot faster. The other thing is we finally got a Garmin InReach, which we have been talking about doing for a very long time and never did. We're gonna set it up for this ride. Hopefully we won't need to use it. So I misspoke earlier. We did not get a Garmin InReach. We got a Zoleo. So if we die in the wilderness, it's Mackie's fault for always buying the off-brand things.
I looked at many reviews, and this came highly rated. It uses the same satellite thing as the Garmin InReach.
Sure, it's the same. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, I know, but the difference is that the InReach, you can like type messages on the device.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really think that's like, we need this to like send like,
yeah, this is only
help,
if we're dying. Yeah.
And like, if we need to send someone a message, we could just use the app on the phone.
So you can use the app
Yeah.
to send messages.
Totally.
Okay, so you just have to have your phone working.
Exactly. I like that the SOS button is protected, so you can't
That would be
accidentally
something we
hit
would
the
do.
SOS button. You have to
Absolutely be
open
something
it up, and you should know this, you have to press it for 3 seconds,
Okay.
and then the lights go like in red.
Yeah. As with any big bike adventure, food is one of the most important parts of the preparation. We'll be burning somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 calories on this ride, so we're gonna need to eat a lot. We're not racing, so we could probably stomach just about anything, but we also want to limit our stops and how much we have to carry. So we're opting for some turkey and cheese sandwiches and lots of calorie-dense snacks we can eat while riding. Trail mix, beef sticks, and of course, Swedish fish. So I am filling up these spare bladders, and that is what we're going to put in the bag that will be there for us at the halfway point. Kind of the rub here is that we're meeting Lauren at the halfway point, but he's not meeting us at the end. And he lives in Taos, we live in Los Alamos. I'm sure we would eventually get our stuff back, but it would just be easier on everyone if we were able to say, fill up our bottles, roll these up, stick them in our pack. It's a lot easier to pour water out than it is to find water in a pond that we can drink without getting giardia.
You guys might have noticed that Sid was wearing her bone conduction headphones. I am also wearing my bone conduction headphones, and that is because we basically wear these things all the time. The reason I bring this up is that Shocks, who makes these, is having a Black Friday sale right now. You can get 30% off the Shocks Open Run bone conduction headphones, and if you've been watching our videos, you know we absolutely love these things. We love the open ear design where it doesn't actually go in your ear, it goes around it, so you can hear your music while also hearing what's going on around you. So when we're at home, that means hearing one another, which definitely leads to less arguments because we don't have to yell and the other person can hear us. But really on the bike is where we absolutely love them. Being able to have music while we're riding, while we're racing, still being able to hear other racers, hearing cars, just hearing our bikes know if something's, going wrong or loose or whatever, really is a game changer. They also are waterproof and have an 8-hour battery life. And we've actually found that if you are kind of pausing and playing throughout the day, the battery lasts a lot longer than that. I think that's 8 hours of continuous music playing. So we will be wearing these tomorrow because we basically wear them all the time and on a very, very, very long ride like we have planned for tomorrow. Having music makes a big difference. Cannot say enough good things about these Shocks headphones. If you want to check them out, this is the perfect time. You can get 30% off the Open Run by heading to bit.ly/Black Friday Shocks.
The other fairly significant change we have made this year versus last year is the timing of this ride. For whatever reason, last year we really wanted to start super early, start in the dark, and hopefully finish still in the daylight with very little dark left. I don't know why this sounded like a good idea. I think the idea was like, we'll still get to bed at a reasonable time. What we failed to consider is that it is a lot colder at the start, which is at 10,000 plus feet, at 5 o'clock in the morning than it is at the finish where we've dropped 3,000 feet. Generally 5 a.m. is like the coldest possible time, much colder than like 8:30, 7:30, 8:30 at night. This year we are going to start at 7 a.m. So we'll start in the daylight. We'll have probably a couple hours in the dark, but it should be warmer because A, it's not as cold of a day, and B, lower elevation. So anyway, just one of those things that you learn with experience of spending time in the backcountry. Good morning.
Okay, we made it to the Martinez Canyon Trailhead, which is our ending point. And we're getting picked up by our friend Lauren. We're making sure, hopefully, we get all of the things that we need out of our vehicle that we're going to bring with us. Helmet, glasses, gloves, got all the food and stuff that said prepped. I think I need to get my pack, and I think that should be everything. Wow, that is quite the rack this guy's got. Wow.
It's a balmy 37 degrees. Having less wind is gonna make a big difference too.
Well, things are looking up. It's not snowing, it's not windy. Shout out to Lauren for the ride up here. And now we get to go up this. Also, it's light, which is really nice. All right, shall we? Woohoo! This section was so wild last year with like a probably 20-mile-an-hour crosswind, snow blowing, sun wasn't up yet. This is much more enjoyable. Okay, it was somewhere around here, I think a little farther still, that we blew past a turn and then had to backtrack. We are not going to make that same mistake this time. Yeah, right up here we should be looking for a right. Yeah, right here. This is the one that I was like, ooh, logs, and jumped over them last time.
To be fair, this does not look like much of a
It
trail.
does not look like much of a trail, it's true. So this section was the part that had a ton of trees down. It turns out, even without a ton of trees down, it's still pretty hard. It's pretty steep. But I just want to say thank you to the trail crews that were out here clearing stuff this year, because this is so much better than it was a year ago. And even with the steep, it's rideable now. Sorry, my bike was in your way.
Well, this is about like 10,000 times more pleasant than last year.
Yeah, really nice.
Wouldn't say we're making super fast time, but we did stop to take off a lot of layers and fix cameras. And I think this section will start going a lot faster than last year because the trees on the downhill slowed us down a lot more than trees on the uphill.
Snack time. These are good. Solid, sour Jolly Ranchers, yum. Yeah, this section also had a bunch of trees down on it, which is really annoying because when you're descending, the last thing you want is to have to keep stopping to carry your bicycle over trees.
We've seen 3 elk, and by we, I mean Mackie, because he was leading and he scared them away. Now I'm leading, maybe we'll see another one.
Our average speed is not quite what we need, but considering we made this section in 8 hours last time, and it was definitely going slower than this, I think it must just get faster. Yeah, 5.5 averages. Well, it'd take us a long time.
Please close the gate. Well, this section is a lot better without the hellacious 30-degree crosswind. That said, it's still kind of unenjoyable. Sort of flat to uphill, bumpy rocks. Lots of things to hit your pedal on. The old ride bumpy single track while eating a turkey sandwich challenge. You fail if you crash or drop your sandwich. Demerits for riding off the trail or losing parts of the sandwich. I lost a crumb there.
What do you get bonus for?
The fully one-handed riding definitely ups your score.
Okay.
It is a judged event, so style counts. Oh boy. All right, demerit.
I remember stopping here the last time. We were all real cold and miserable.
Oh yeah.
Check out that view. Man, good view. They've done some work on this section too. It's a lot better than last year. Average speed is up to 6.3. It's pretty good. We want it somewhere in the like high 7s, maybe 8 range.
For the whole thing now.
Yeah, for the whole thing.
We
got more descending in the second half, so I think we're not in a terrible position.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. Look how green this grass is.
Must just be a string or something.
Yeah, we keep hitting these weird sections where it's like neon green, which is so weird to see in New Mexico. Ah, leaves! Woohoo! Oh, there's some nice aspen colors. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
This is the first stop for the slack packing. Actually, looks like there is a toilet down there,
over there.
which I could use, so
And then a second here, we're going to be looking for that right here.
cool.
Our first actual stop, we paused for a nice bathroom, and
Remarkable. We're really in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, in the middle of nowhere, and there's a
Forest Service.
pit toilet. And now we're feeling re-upped and ready to do the next quarter.
If I remember correctly, last time it snowed on us here. Ugh.
It's just awkward no matter how you try to get across it. Wow! And then here we go across.
What is it here?
Yeah, it's right, well, no, you're right. We can go down a little bit and then across. Yeah, we missed this turn last year also. Nice CDT.
Not to have the CDT sign over here.
No, not really.
Well, this does not suck. Definitely the best part of this valley.
Oh, I love this section so much. Don't look at the view. Stay on the trail. What was that?
A little bit of water through here.
Yeah, definitely some erosion.
I don't remember seeing that water down.
Yeah.
Recognize this nap taker. Whew. Couldn't ask for a better day, man.
Put it all in this pump right here.
Nice one, nice one. What a pretty meadow. I love it here.
Well, we were on double track and it was making things faster for a while.
I think maybe this is still double track.
Well, yeah, but this part of double track is not making things faster anymore. Uh-oh. All right, this section is double track and I remember it, and it actually is slightly faster. So that should be good. Help us tick off some of these miles on the way to Hopewell Lake.
Here's slow rolling tires.
Yeah, here's a perfect example of the difference between fast rolling tires like Sid's and not fast rolling tires like mine.
I probably weigh 30 pounds less than
You guys probably couldn't hear Sid, but she was pointing out that she weighs a good bit less than me. So the fact that she's going faster than me downhill while weighing less really speaks to how much better those tires roll. We're almost to Hopewell.
It is so pretty out here.
It is so pretty out here.
This is the 30 seconds of pavement that we have all day. And I have to say, it feels pretty nice. That was it. It's over now. And despite the fact that last time we started at 5 in the morning, I think we're still getting here earlier in the day. Woohoo! A lot quicker than last time.
Yeah.
Probably not like the quickest, definitely not the quickest that we could get here, but
Yeah, I didn't pause mine, so I think it was like 6:30.
yeah.
That's not bad. We had 4 2-liter bladders of water. I put one in my pack. We filled up Sid's 3-liter one, filled up all the bottles, and had 1 liter left. So I've got 3 liters, Sid's got 3 liters. We've got our bottles. We got more sandwiches. We re-upped on the, oh look, this moth wants to be my friend. We re-upped on our snacks, we re-upped on our sandwiches, and we're putting lights on our bikes because then we don't have to put them in our packs. So this is Lauren Bell. He picked us up, brought us to the start, brought food for us here, and then rode out and met us, which is awesome. But normally, this is not how you would do this for people. How would it normally work?
There's a much easier way to do this. So we offer a 4-day slack pack option where basically you can have 4 beautiful 20 to 25 mile rides, and when you get to camp there's a trailer waiting for you that has your cooler of beer, your tent, your stove, your sleeping bag, all the stuff you need to camp. And then the next day you just pack it up in the trailer, you start riding another 20 miles, and we'll bump it down to you. And it's a good way to get all of this epic scenery in a much more reasonable pace.
Where can people find out more information about this?
Shuttletaus.com.
Shuttletaus.com.
Yep. We also run South Boundary Trail shuttles outside of Taos, between Angel Fire and Taos, if you're looking for something a little more mellow, just a day run. But yeah, the only thing I love more than riding these trails is helping other people get out there on them.
All right, we're off. Oh, my legs feel terrible. Oh. Whew.
Forest Service, some of the local municipalities.
Oh, this is chunky. Yeah.
Sketchy turns.
Woo! Woo-woo!
Oh man, that is so much fun. So much fun. Just dropped under 40 miles to go, Sid. Doing good. Doing good. What are you thinking, Lauren? Poor Lauren's been back there like, I should probably turn around. I should probably turn around. And then he hasn't turned around.
I should probably turn around, but I really want to see how this bike handles on these rocks.
Yeah!
Try not to explode any more sticks. Oh God, I've made a mistake. Ouch. Okay, this has seen better moments.
Because it's right
This tree, yeah.
Man, I remember it being kind of technical, but
Not like
taking it to a whole new level.
it's massive loose boulder technical. It's like Africa. Is it technical or is it just unrideable? Oh, hello, not slowing down. Oh, I was like, where the heck are we even going here? That makes a lot more sense. So sadly, the bridge, it was not really a bridge, but it was a log you could walk across, no longer exists. So I think we're gonna shoes and socks off. I don't know who I think I am. I was like, I'll just Tarzan from this rock to the other. And we got close to it and I was like, absolutely not. Oh God, Mackie.
So far, so good.
Oh, you won't be using them for 10 miles.
Yeah, they'll be dry by the time you need them again.
Whoa, that was great. Okay.
Nicely done.
All right, we got rolling again after the sketchy rock crossing. Lauren headed back. We have a 10-mile climb. Whoop, whoop. This tree is, nope. Lauren said this was an approachable climb. After this part, maybe. Ready? Starting to feel a little discouraged about how long it seems like it is going to take. Forget that just riding things takes so much longer than racing things.
Yeah.
Lost valuable time screwing around trying to find a bridge that didn't exist. Now we've had to climb over some trees, just holding out some hope that what comes after the climb is not full of trees and does not take us 5 hours. So this part isn't as bad. It might just be the meat stink.
I'm feeling surprisingly positive.
Yeah, that's good.
Our stop.
raining aspens. It's so pretty.
Did you catch it? Oh, I just caught one too! Hey, it never hit the ground. Sid was saying a second ago that we really should try to find some rides that are in the like 6 to 8 hour range, because 12 plus,
Kind of extreme.
yeah, it's kind of extreme. Whereas like up to 6 I was doing pretty good. 6 to 8 I would say I was doing okay because there was an extended descent after lunch. Now I'm like, we could be done now. Okay, finally approaching top of this climb. Just over a quarter mile and 39 feet of elevation gain. And then apparently there are only 4 more climbs that this thing registers.
I have to say, the Swedish fish and spicy trail mix combo, all shoved in your mouth together, pretty darn good. And this is beautiful. As expected, it's taking longer than expected. Random skiing.
Oh. 10% it'd be a 260 foot climb.
Oh. And then there's all the little climbs that it's not even gonna register. Same. The final stop. Ate the last sandwich.
Last sandwich.
Last
put on the
sandwich.
light, swap to the clear lenses.
Swap to clear lenses, put on the lights. We don't really need the lights yet, but we had stopped to pee and eat, and I think we are going to try to minimize our stops going forward because I'm having a great time, but I don't want to be out here until like 11 o'clock at night. And it got cold. So we got these jackets from Primal, which are like lightweight goose down windproof riding jackets. A+.
A plus.
I really like them. And I was wearing it earlier when it was quite cold with another warm layer underneath. It was great. Now I'm just wearing it over my jersey for the windproofing because we got some downhill coming. Hooray! 66 miles, 6.6 miles an hour. It's not fast. We've also been stopping too much, and we haven't even been stopping that much. If we do 6 miles per hour for the rest, we just have 4 hours left. But I think we're going to go faster. I believe in us.
I believe in us too.
Hello, cow.
This is Kanhilon, which is the slack pack location number 3. Yep, Upper Kanhilon Lake. So that's cool. That means that all of the places you stay are actual campgrounds with bathrooms. Oh yeah, and there's a lake. It says left here. I think we go here and then it's gonna cut off.
Absolutely getting rolling down the pavement.
Yeah, I think you get about 8 seconds of it.
Brings our total up to like 45 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that, maybe like 22 seconds total.
Oh, there it is.
Right here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Wow, that is so pretty. Either it's really pretty or we both just ate a snack.
All right. Hit our first super annoying tree spot, but we're almost 70 miles in, so it's really not terrible.
The light on those trees.
Yeah, that is stunning.
You're stunning.
Oh, thanks. A little bit more mess here. though.
Oh, we'd had such nice flow going there too. That's a nice pasture you have, cows. This cow wants to fight you. Yeah. We have to go closer. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, look at that sunset. That'd be good.
At this point, we're feeling pretty good. It's been a long day, sure, but we just experienced a stellar sunset. We only have 17 miles left, and we are cruising along at 10 plus miles an hour. At this rate, we should be back to the car at a very respectable 8:30 p.m.
All right, front lights are on. We're running low setting for right now because we don't know exactly how long it's going to take us to get back.
But this is mountain biking. No matter how prepared you are, no matter how fast you are, if you get on the wrong trail in the wrong conditions, 17 miles can take you, well, an eternity. This section of trail probably would have been annoyingly difficult to follow in daylight, but at night, it was, at the risk of sounding dramatic, a total nightmare. For the next 8 miles, we probably got lost every 3 to 5 minutes as the trail disappeared into open pastures or eroded washes, leaving us to scramble through ditches and wander hopelessly through bumpy fields following a line on our GPSs. Needless to say, our average speed dropped precipitously, taking with it any semblance of morale we had left. What's that? I think we might have f***ed up there. Let me turn on my headlight. Can't tell you where. Oh man, it's hard with the trackies. It's hard to follow. Especially in the dark. I can see Mackie, but I have no idea how he got over there, so I'm just gonna sort of straight line through this field. We're fine. We don't feel fine. We have food. Whatever. It's just, if this is like this the rest of the way, then a night out here because this is going to take all night to do 17 miles of squiggly wiggly bull that we just don't know which way we're supposed to be squiggly wiggling. Oh man.
This is reminding me of K2N, and once I stopped worrying so much about being exactly on the trail all the time and did it more based on where the GPS said we should be and just started blasting through the grass, it's yeah, it's worked pretty well. Oh, we finally are on a fast section. Been going downhill consistently for a little while.
Alright, things are looking up. We're going down quickly, which is always good. We have less than 10 miles left, which feels very optimistic. We're doing so well. We took off like 3 miles on the road, and now the road just completely disappeared. And we're not sure if we're supposed to go through this cow pen.
Is that what it seems like to you?
Yeah, I mean, based on the map, yeah. I wonder if it wasn't here.
How about...
How does one go through it? That gate has a chain, but is there a gate on the other side?
It doesn't look like it. No, that's locked.
What in the Should we go back a bit? Because there was another road off to the side.
No, it's showing right, like it's showing this way from right here. Or like essentially straight. We just go.
Some furniture is gonna come out, and what do we do if there's nothing on the other side here?
You said there was a road back there. Was it going to our right?
Yeah. Escape the cow pasture. There were CDP signs. They're just very easy to miss. And required going through some weird barbed wire slalom. Anyway, moving again.
Shortly after this section, both our camera batteries died and we ran out of food. But as we learned at Margie Jessic a few weeks earlier, one of us handles being in a calorie deficit a lot better than the other, and that person is Sid. So I promptly bonked hard and spent the remainder of the ride burying myself trying to keep up with Sid. The one saving grace was that the trail was much easier to follow at this point, so we only occasionally got lost, and usually for less than a minute or so. Fortunately for me, Sid didn't leave me to die in the wilderness and waited at the top of each climb, and we were able to convince her camera to turn on one last time as we reached the car.
We did it. We made it. Ugh. It is 10:15. We're literally getting lost in the last half mile waiting through a cow pond.
I'm so happy to see our car.
All right, well, that was a time and a half. I did not enjoy the last hour. Actually, maybe not the last, like, 3 hours, to be honest. We made it back. Promptly changed into our unicorn onesies.
Which is the best decision of the day.
Because we were a little cold. I'm feeling much better. We're gonna need that light on again. We're cooked. Make a long story short, I think what kind of happened is we just got lost a lot in the last 16 miles, which I think is mostly our fault. I think there were some sections where there's just been a lot of rain this year and things have washed out weird, and the trail, probably there are markers that you can see in the daylight, but doing it in the dark was rough.
I want to say that I really appreciate you, because I was definitely struggling at the end there.
Which was understandable, because this was a terrible idea. If you ever get a hankering to do this, just call Shuttle House and do the slack packing version instead. There were some major highs. The sunset was incredible. The colors were incredible. I could have lived without the last 3 hours. And sometimes that's how an adventure goes.